But I can't go freaking Facebook with it, but whatever.
Oh, yeah. Eating that champagne from the study. Doing the show. That's all I know.
Oh, come on. Calvin and his big book of truck facts would slap you if they didn't say that. Really don't want
Years, so long, slow, their hearts, slow, so one of them stood in there, and his years, so what? No, I'm no good at school.
That's fucking it. Yeah. They think I should be happy with Captain. No. I'm just getting started. And you're coming with me. I have a vision. Yeah, it's like perfect.
Your skin looks great. You must be using Zenko skincare products.
Thanks. I use water. You know how your wife needs
Fantastic.
that.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Chuck Nix, the Bearded Wino. It's another Monday, so this is Monday Meditations with Wine. I've got a very special guest who's a friend, who's a family member of mine, Meaghan Odum, aka Trill Wine Wife, on any social media platform. She is a wine academic. She's a nurse. She's a mom. She's making history, especially with this being Women's History Month. We've got big things going on, and I'm happy to have her here today. Meaghan, how are you?
Hey, everybody. I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, look, before we jump into this conversation, a couple of announcements for all that are viewing or checking in right now. We're dark here as usual on Mondays at Bravo, but hear what you got to say. We want to comment back with you and create a
To take the test, I've already taken all of the courses that.
culinary space. And we're gonna take a beat. We're gonna step away from just what's going on inside restaurants or inside wineries today. We're gonna talk about what's going on behind the scenes. In order for people to get to the spaces they want to get to, they have a considerable amount of reading and amount of education that they have to amass. And Meaghan is a perfect example of that. Not only is she just doing multiple jobs, right? The big job, right? She's a mother. She's also a nurse. And Meaghan, you got your master's, am I correct, recently?
Yes, I have a master's in healthcare administration from Louisiana State University. I recently got that in December. My undergrad is in health science, and then I have my LPN, and that's from a junior college. So, and I'm fully certified in stay-at-home mom.
Okay, so those are a lot of letters. Let's just talk about it a little bit. You're a nurse, right? You're also a wine academic these days. Now you just got your master's in December, but you also got the wine certifications last year as well. Am I right?
Yes. So I started certifications probably about like a year ago. And so I got a couple of scholarships to do the Dubstep one, the Cooks Do Your Own class. I also did the California wine course. And then I'm currently in my CSW candidate stage where I'm just about to take the test. I've already taken all of the courses that I need to take. And then I'm also in the WSET 2 class, which is with Napa Valley. I was going to start in March, but then I had to push it back a little bit because life, you know how that
Yeah.
goes.
No. Well, look. Let's just talk about this a little bit. You just named off like four certifications in the past year, plus your master's that you acquired last year. We start talking about education and wine academics. I think you're achieving all that is. I think you're achieving and above and beyond. There aren't many people that are even dedicated to wine that are doing the amount of education that you are. So hats off to you, no doubt about that. And this is also why we're having the conversation with you, because you do many things, and I would really like to know, what does that balance look like for you? I mean, you're a mom, you're a nurse, you're studying like crazy. What does that balance look like? How do you actually balance it all?
As far as balance, I drink a lot of wine. I like to taste a lot of wine, so therefore I drink a lot of wine, so then I can practice on patience and be able to, so I can be able to take things minute by minute, day by day, time by time, because we always come up with a schedule, right? We always come up with a plan for the week, and we're like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to study this, I'm going to do this, and it just doesn't go as planned. So therefore, I just kind of make it do what it do. So at this time, if I'm able to study, then I'm going to study. If I'm able to take one child to soccer, the other child to baseball, and then be able to study in the car, or just whatever I can make happen. So being a right now I'm a full-time stay-at-home mom, so I'm taking care of the kids, I'm studying, I'm trying to get everything together for my husband, trying to get everything together for the kids doing their homework, and yeah, tequila helps too. But since we were talking about wine, we will focus on that. So basically, I haven't been in the work field in a while, only because of the pandemic. So it's really helped me to go ahead and get those certifications and a lot of different things about wine, like do my virtual tastings and stuff like that. Just to be able to have that time right now to be able to focus on myself, which is more geared towards my passion than more on a monetary use. So the reason I started this is because I wanted to learn more about wine. I didn't want to just like drink with you and your wife and my husband and have a great time. I mean, we do,
Yeah,
but
all the
I also
time.
wanted to know the backstory of it and just speaking more and more with you and Sarah Faye and Tiffany and Justin and Eric. It was just like, wow, I
Yeah.
really kind of want to, I want to dig a little deeper. And I'm the kind of person that wants to break things apart and put them together. I mean, science, molecular, biological, biology. So I want to know the steps and the processes in order to break it down to be able to put it back together. So that's how, I'm able to juggle things, just trying to keep focus and study.
You hit a couple of things there. First off, you hit up the village. So one time for the village that you shouted out, and we talk about these same individuals pretty regularly on these shows, and we're going to make sure we get them in space. But you're a part of that village, and I think it takes that sort of intuitiveness, right? Like you're drinking wine and you're enjoying it, and it's part of the enjoyment, right? It's okay. This is a really good, tasty beverage, but then you want to know, why is this a tasty beverage? Why does this taste better than another drink that I've had that's similar to it? And then you take the initiative and you go find the books, you do the research, and you find out more about it, to really learn more about it. That's what's commendable, and I think that's what makes us as psalms and wine academics and professionals really unique, is because we go beyond just, oh, I want to drink some wine, to which wine do I want to drink, why do I want to drink that wine, what's the occasion, does this
Right,
wine
right.
fit that occasion? And when you put all that effort into it, it really makes a whole lot more sense to the occasion, to the situation. It makes it more enjoyable. So speaking of enjoying fantastic beverages, what are you drinking? I saw some pink in a glass. Talk to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, spring has sprung. Okay, so of course
Indeed.
we're going to be on our bubbly, we're going to be on our sparkling, we're going to be on our champagne, our rosé, our Vino Verde, anything like that. So I just picked up a bottle. I got the Chandon.
All
Um,
about it.
yes, the Brut Rosé, which we did talk about, that is a women's wine maker. It's made in the traditional method. Beautiful sparkling wine from California. I mean, the color is gleaming. She's a perfect baddie. I have pink delicious swirling in my glass. I mean,
Mm.
have it chilled, have it hot, whatever you want. But to me, I would like it very much chilled.
Ice
It's a
cold.
beauty. And it's such a good price for everything that you're getting in this bottle, because a lot of times like we seek out champagnes and stuff like that, or we seek out like these expensive sparklings, and it's like this is budget and it's fantastic. Like
And quality.
no shame in my game.
Look, and then look. Let's dig into this. This is what wine education affords you. You can go and find quality wine without spending all the money, because
Right,
right? So now I know what's in the bottle. I know I don't have to spend $100, right? If you start talking to some people who understand the historic connotation of Chandon, they start thinking Moet and Chandon. Then they go to
right,
France and they spend $75 just to get a sparkling wine from producers that are making the same wine. Just and these are just the California vineyards, in which we know by the knowledge that you can find great terroir in California to produce fruit to create great wine in the same way they're doing in France. Sands about 50
exactly,
bucks out of your pocket, right?
exactly.
The same quality in the glass. That's a beautiful situation. And it's a woman winemaker because it's Women's History
I
Month. All right,
know.
well, look, your wine's better
All
than
over
mine.
me
I
now.
don't know. I'm not going to say that, because Maryline Gianna may not agree. So what I'm drinking is also a sparkling wine. Hold up. Let me get you label shots. So we're Veuve de Vernay. Can you see that? The glare, the glare.
Yep,
All right,
definitely.
bing, bing, bing. All right, so Veuve de Vernay, easy access. You'll find it in most wine shops all the way around. We are talking about a French sparkler.
Boy.
We're not talking about champagne. We're talking about a French sparkler. The winery is in Burgundy. It's in Beaune. The fruit is sourced outside of Burgundy, so we don't call this a Cremant de Bourgogne. We just call this a French sparkling wine. And this is a woman winemaker, founded by a guy, but founded by the guy that the son of the guy that invented the Charmat method, if
Oh
that makes
wow.
sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Eugene Charmat founds it. Robert Charmat is his son, who then who starts Veuve de Vernay, this company, but they're making wine in the secondary and traditional method. So they're not using the Charmat method, using traditional method to make this beautiful sparkler. And I went for the Blanc because I like Chardonnay. So bingo bango. There we go. Cheers to
Yes.
you, Max.
Big up. Cheers.
Mm. Oh yeah. All right. So let's start with this. How was your weekend with all the things that you got going on? How was your weekend?
I I have a couple of Zooms. Like I have entered into a lot of mentoring projects so I can get some more information. I think for me, the more information that I have, the more I'm drawn to it. The more information I can get, the more I'm drawn to it. And it's just like, oh my gosh, this is my side chick besides my husband, you know? So I like to make sure that I get as much information as I can, especially if you have access to it, because I think a lot of times we haven't had access in the past. And for me to have
Sure.
access to people like you or to other people that are in the world, through my Instagram or anything, I like to take full advantage of that. So I have a couple of those. We have a soccer game. We have a baseball game. Alan has a couple of things to do. I really don't have anything besides running. I need to run like 25 miles this week. So
Y'all are a sporty family. Y'all are
we
sporty.
are
Y'all are
sporty
so athletic.
family.
Look at y'all. Basketball, or say baseball game, soccer game. You're gonna go running. I know Allen is somewhere on a basketball court somewhere, about to be if he ain't already there. Y'all are sporty. You know what I'm gonna do? Here's my sports. I'm gonna go to the living room. I'm gonna grab the remote. Then I'm gonna go sit back on the couch. Then I'm gonna go to the kitchen. And I'm gonna get a bottle of wine. I'm gonna go back to the couch. And I'm gonna do these reps like one, two, three. I don't know how many reps I'll do over how many shows we're gonna do. So I mean,
But
I'm
also it's March, and everybody knows that it's March Madness. So basically, this week I've been pairing my wines with March Madness because there's some
okay.
good games on. There was a lot of upsets, but there's still some good stuff going on. So I'm all into it.
I didn't even check. How did Memphis do against Gonzaga yesterday? You know, I
Wait,
know
I
Allen
don't
knows.
think I got to watch that game, but I think University of Memphis against Gonzaga, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
University of Memphis lost, didn't they?
Oh
Yeah,
no,
I think they lost.
no,
I watched more
no.
of the women's, but yeah, I definitely think they lost to them. Yep, they did. Actually, they
Now,
did.
now we got bad news. It was all good until Memphis loses. All right,
No
well,
worries, no worries. Just drink more wine. It's fine.
That's it. We're back in it. So look, I was saying it's bad news when Memphis loses. All right, but look, you guys are a sporty family. You guys got a lot going on this weekend. We understand that you're drinking some beautiful wine from a woman winemaker. It's Women's History Month. Let me talk to you about this. Did you get any studying done this weekend?
No.
Oh, all right.
What?
That's fine. Well, you did
Gosh.
so much.
Okay.
You did so much. Well, I was gonna say, like, me and you talked, right? I woke up in the
Yeah.
middle of the night and I freaking just started writing a paper in the middle of the night. And then sometimes I go on these tangents for just no reason. But like, let me ask, and I like Lambrusco, so I'm studying and
Mm-hmm.
writing about Lambrusco, which I will probably not ever get exam questions about Lambrusco. I'm the only one that likes it, apparently, in the wine world. But let me ask you this: what's your favorite area of wine study?
I have to say, it's really hard to pick because I feel like every time when I learn about something new, I'm like, oh, I really like that one. Like I like that one better than I love
Yeah,
that one better
yeah,
than Italy. I love that one better than Lore. I love that one better than Walla Walla. I love. And so it's really hard for me because I'm getting so much information. I'm just like, man, but this, and it's really hard for me to say, okay, this one is perfect. This is what I want to study. But I think with the CSW, it does such a good job with just focusing on all different regions to be able to learn about everything and not just keep it as one thing. I
hmm
think with the W set too, it's more focusing on like the wine, the varietal, the taste, how it's growing and everything, but not so much on the region and why it tastes the way it does. So it's really hard for me to pick what I would really want to focus on. But I think I have been, like I told you, I have been on a big bubble kick. I've been on a really big champagne kick, and it's not good for my budget. It's wonderful, it's beautiful, it's sexy, it's bad, but the problem is it's bad for my pockets. It's bad for my husband's pockets, not mine. So I have really, I really love to get a little bit of those bubbles in there. The California sparkling, but of course, Oregon has a special place in my heart. Like so many Pinot Noir is just it's magical. But you know how I am. I like to be difficult and I like to be different, and I want to try all the cans and all the different things and all the sparklings and.
so look, sparkling wine doesn't have to be crazy expensive. I know sometimes
Right.
it doesn't have to be. You can go for some really fun stuff.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier about access, and you were saying how sometimes now, like, you have more access to things, and that's how you're able to take all these exams or at least get the scholarships to take these exams.
Mhm.
When you say access, and you say we don't have access, who are you talking about? What do you mean by access?
As far as like Mississippi, I'm not from here. And I
Likewise.
love the people that I have met in Mississippi.
Hmm.
I think that out of the state, when we go to visit, there's a lot of different options that I haven't been able to get to. Now, as far as you and as far as like the companies that we keep around us, you guys have a lot of different options. You guys are able to do different things, but because I'm not actually in trade or actually at a restaurant or something like that, I think there's a lot of things that I don't get to try or don't have access to until I'm out of the state or with you guys. Oh,
Well,
so I
look,
can't just go ahead.
no, I would say, but education actually affords you that access, right? Like, I mean, my job wouldn't necessarily do that. Like, I've worked at some places where if I had no idea, like if I
Mhm.
was, I mean, when I first started in this game, I didn't know exactly what I was doing. And so I would have just ordered whatever was being sold to me, whatever big box
Mhm.
brands were being sold to me. And that doesn't take a lot of education. That's just going to put you with a bunch of large marketed items and things that are just on every grocery store shelf. It takes a level of education to say, I'm going to buy these things. So then there is more access for the residents and for the people that are enthusiasts or just academics and not in trade. So, I mean, your education affords that, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think just depending on the situation because sometimes like when I get a scholarship it's access to that course, you'll learn the information and you can still just go to your local store and pick up a couple of things. I think that in different situations when you meet people online and you do these virtual tastings, you're like, okay, this is totally different than what I expected from what I was getting from my wine course. So it's like two different things. And then I also feel like I'm not going to go and scope out those different things if I don't know about it. So I know about it because I try to get as much information as I can, but not everybody is like a gold digger. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm digging for the goals that I need, and so therefore I'm gonna do whatever I need to do beyond what somebody else would do if they can't find something. Like I'm gonna go beyond. Like me and you both know that we travel a couple of hours to go and get our wine from Memphis. But not everybody's going to do that. They're going to be like, I'm just going to get what's here, but because, you know, I've learned from you, like, there's other things out there that I need to learn about and that I want to learn about. And I kind of yearn for that. So I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get it. And
Yeah.
people don't have, that necessarily that passion sometimes. But I'm not saying everybody's like that. But it's just like,
Yeah,
I
no, no,
want to know
everybody's
more.
not like that. And I mean, you mentioned to me, you keep saying you learn from me, but I mean, let's talk about how we all learn from each other. No, let's talk about how we learn from each other, right? Because, right, I went to Virginia and I was like, oh, Virginia's cool. And I went like a history trip. But then when
Hmm.
I came back, what I knew is what I knew. But then I learned from you about what was actually there and what's really out
Hmm.
there and all the other good things that Virginia has to offer. And then not just necessarily in the I'm not going to say because I think all the wines that we talk about, especially from Virginia in this particular conversation, I mean, they're on the fine wine category.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
learned more about what's actually in that fine wine
Hmm.
category from the space from you. And I think that that's because you seek out what's there, you check for what's coming out. And you've got this enthusiasm about wine that really supersedes most enthusiasts. A lot of folks like, oh, yo, I like this wine. That's a big name brand. Or I saw it on this wine list, or my boss spent a bunch of money on
Hmm.
this wine, and now I love it. You're much further beyond that. Let me ask this: when did that happen? When did your interest in wine happen as an enthusiast to drive you to being an academic?
Definitely during the pandemic, because before
Mm,
I had access to wines, and then we moved to Brandon, and it wasn't as much access as I had before when I was in Virginia. So I had
mhm,
to really see like how can I get this, what can I look for, or what can I get from the options that I have now because there's not vineyards here.
mhm.
So where I was living, I could go to a vineyard or I could go, something like that. So it's like you got to be more creative and just kind of draw out of what you have. So during that time, I said, I'm moving down here. I want to get some friends. I want to figure out some things. And I started an Instagram. And because that's the best way to meet people, social media. That's the best way to get friends. That's the best way to learn about things at this point of time. So what I did is start my account and started looking up hashtags. I started looking up Jackson, Mississippi, Brandon, Mississippi, wines and stuff like that. And then once I realized that I found a couple of people, then I was like, what are these certifications? What are these abbreviations behind their name? Like, I need to know. And I found out that there was courses for wine. There was information. There was more information than I knew. And I was like, wow, I got to get on that level. Like, I can't be here slouching. Like, I can't
No,
do that.
well, you're definitely not doing that. But let
I
me ask you
know.
something.
so that's what I was like, you know what? I'm gonna find out about this, and that's what helped me to grow more and to learn more because I was like, I really
Yeah,
want to dig into this.
that was kind of a
And
test
so
like
that's
see how
what
come.
kind of gave me that thirst for knowledge, to be able to know more and learn more. Once I saw that there was ways to do that instead of just doing my own research, I could take a course. I could learn from that.
Yeah, and you're learning it and you're getting it. I mean, you have me and you, our conversations about wine have evolved since our very first one, right? And God, I don't know how many years ago that was at this point, but
It
it's so
was only 2 years ago.
it feels
True.
like
It feels
so
like 20,
long
right?
ago, right? I mean, well, time flies when you're having fun, and you know it just makes sense. So let's dig in a bit. Now, you are more than just a general wine enthusiast before. You know, before you moved to Mississippi, you were really into wine anyway. You didn't
Hmm.
just come here and start buying bottles, right?
True. It was a lot of bottles I transferred down here. Yeah.
So let's talk about your intro into wine. Like, what said, "Hey, you know what? I had this wine. Now I really like wine." What wine was that? What was the situation? What's the story around it?
Well, it was the wine that we shared together.
Oh yeah.
It was the Saudi Creek wine, the Christmas wine that I tell you about.
Oh yeah.
That was, I mean, it tastes like Christmas in a bottle. It has that cinnamon, it has that like caramel apple, it had them juicy red fruits in there, and it was just like, where did this come from? So when I tried it, I had to have it. I had to know about it, and so every year they only sell it one time a year for like 2 months, and I purchase it every time. I want every vintage. I want to know what this one tastes in comparison to this one tastes like. And so it kind of started there. We started going to wine festivals and trying all those different wines, and I didn't understand how this Chardonnay tastes different from this Chardonnay. Like, why is this buttery and why is this not? And why is this, So I wanted to know why, and I went from there. After that, I just started purchasing bottles and just trying different things, but not until I got down here, I wanted to dig a little deeper because you could try something and be like, oh, I like this. I'm going to go buy 10 bottles of this. I'm just going to continue to drink this because I like this. But for me, like, after it got, like, for a little while, it's like, wait a second, I can't find this wine. So I need to find one that's like it. So how am I going to do that? I have to buy more, to try more, to learn more, to grow more, to get more knowledge, to push more. So that's how it came about.
I love your outlook on it. I love your outlook on it. And as busy as you are, you continue to have a very positive outlook on it. You don't let it, overwhelm you. Let me ask you this: I was on a interview, a webinar or such, with a couple of master somms not long ago, and one of the ladies was going into her advanced certification. She was talking to a master somm, and she's a mom. She had twins in the middle of studying. She's also a nurse, and she has all these other things going on, much like you. And I asked the question. I said, what advice do you have to parents that are studying while having kids in the house?
Yeah.
What's your advice? She told me just get used to the chaos.
Yeah.
What's
That
your
is true.
what's your advice? Do you have any advice for parents that are doing this?
I would say, I mean, I don't have much advice for them. The thing is, just keep going.
Mhm.
Sometimes you'll get 5 minutes of study. Sometimes you get like 3 hours of study.
Yeah,
Just trying to, and I wouldn't even say make a plan because every time when you make a plan, it doesn't quite go how you expected. So what I say is pop open some wine,
yeah,
take a 5 second breather, because that might be the only time that you have. Go to the bathroom, take a bottle of wine, calm down, figure out your thoughts, and then come back out. Take your time with your kids, do what you need to do, but it really like helps you focus a little bit more. Like, I feel like if I have a little bit of burst of energy, I feel like a little relaxed or something. I'm like, okay, I can do this. Okay, because sometimes you just want to pull your hair out and you just want to curse everybody out and yell at everybody and just be like, we're going to Chick-fil-A. Forget this. I'm not doing this. Or like, I'm not cooking. I'm not cleaning. Just leave everything how it is. But taking those moments to myself and just being like, reminding myself, I am the baddest. I am the baddest. And this is what I can do and what I'm capable of doing because you can't do it all.
yeah.
And you can't force yourself to do it all you can do is what you can do. Don't look at other people and look at the levels and look at what they're doing and how they're just happy homemaker and all that kind of stuff like that. Do what you can do. Be yourself and be true to yourself. So therefore, take that time to yourself and move on. Take your little sip of your drink, handle the kids, and let's move on. Because the whole time I've been in school, I've had a child. So I've never been childless at
Yeah.
school ever.
You hit something though. You said get that bottle of wine, then go to the bathroom where it's like nobody around. I can remember last year, if I think it was last year, before I took my certified exam, I was like doing these zooms at like 7, 8 in the morning, and Charlotte wakes up at like 6:37 in the morning, no matter what time she goes to sleep. So I'm like, I gotta get up, and then she's got to get up.
Then other things
And
to
the
use.
only place that I was safe without her, like
It's
running up on me, was in the bathroom. So I would take a bottle of wine, or I take the samples or whatever. I get the notebook, my laptop, and I put them in the vanity, and I'm in the bathroom. Got a little space to stretch out. But like you're right, sometimes as parents, you have to be a little bit unorthodox in
yep.
your approach to studies. Yeah, 5 minutes or 3 hours. Sometimes you wait until everybody's asleep.
Yep.
Sometimes you do it before everybody wakes up,
Right.
or go to the bathroom while everybody's here. And
Right.
no, you're absolutely right. I think you just do have to just go for it and run your race, not anyone
Uh-huh.
else.
Exactly.
That's pretty keen right there. Let me ask you this. Uh, we talked, man, a few months ago about why we even do this, right? Because you sometimes go through this, man. What am I doing? Does this
Yep.
even matter? Why am I doing this? Let me ask you this: why do you do it? Why do you keep going for certification after certification? What's your purpose?
I really want to. I want to learn about it. I want to dig in about it. I hate not being able to speak on something that I don't know about. I'm not the kind of person that will kind of like freelance. Like if I'm having a conversation with people, it's like 20 people and they're all talking about different things. If I don't know anything about it, I'm gonna keep quiet because I don't want to say something and then you ask me a question about it and then I'm like, oh, I don't know. I want to have that firm background of everything that I'm discussing with you. As you know, I like to speak to people, and that's basically how I grew my social media account. Just speaking to people, just being nice, and just being myself. And at first, I really tried to come off as oh, I'm this and I'm that and stuff like that, but it just wasn't me. It wasn't me. So I had to come back down and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna be myself and people can accept it for how it is or not. So we have spoken a lot of times about, just being myself or, being for others. I'm for all. Okay.
Yeah,
So this is not for some and it's definitely for all. I want to make sure that I have that understanding with the people that don't know about wine and the people that have been in wine for years. I mean, it's kind of crazy because I'm able to speak with anybody. If you bring me to a room, and my husband says that all the time, if you bring me to a room or with anybody, I'm able to strike up a conversation. I'm able to make friends. I'm able to talk to people.
yeah.
I mean, anything of that nature, like I'm able to do that. So I think I have the gift of gab. I'm able to speak and drink and hang out with anybody. If you're drinking wine or if you're drinking tequila, if you're drinking bourbon, whiskey, scotch. I mean, if you're not drinking at all and you're smoking, I mean, totally up to you. But that's just how I am. So I feel like my contribution is just being able to speak to everybody. There's a lot of times where people look at wine and they're saying, "Oh, okay, well, this is it's only for bougie people, or that's only for this type of people, or
It's just
something
live,
like
so
that." And I
there's
really want
nothing
to
more
break it
restricted.
down to the point where you're like, you know what, I can do this. I see Meaghan doing it, and I'm regular smuggler. Okay, nothing. Regular smuggler. Okay,
Well,
a lot of
look,
people wouldn't know.
your approach to wine though, right? It's really endearing because sure, for me in the trade and for me being a wine academic and then going through the court and through society wine educators, right? I find myself in these rooms, right, where everybody's sport coated up, all the women are in, business suits, and we're in seminars, and it's really almost formal and business formal and professional,
Hmm.
right? Your approach to it takes away from you having to be suited up or having a tie and all these things. Your approach to it is t-shirts and jeans. I love your Friday sessions. I love your Tuesday sessions. I love all those that you have, and you really put it out there on Instagram. And if anybody's looking for you, I see your socials there at Trill Wine Wife. They can find you on all
Thank you,
social media
love.
platforms there.
Hey, did you
But
post?
you have all these
I mean,
segments where
TV
you
put up
highlight wines, you
some of the
talk
stuff.
about them, but we talk about changing the language, right? We don't always
Hmm.
have to talk about terroir. We don't always have to talk about, the science and the theory about it, but we can just talk about, does it taste good? Why does it taste good?
Right.
How much does it cost? Because that means something to a lot of people.
Yeah, it
Like
does.
enthusiasts, it means something. Like you find people that go, oh, don't mention the price, don't want to offend anybody. But no, mention the price because it would offend me if you don't. And then you hit me with
Right.
that price tag, right?
Right.
You're
Right. Right.
really fun to do it. it's very appreciative, you know.
And I think that touches on your last question when you were talking about like, what do you do it for? I do it for like people that don't know anything about it. I do it for Black women. I do it for women. I do it for people of our age, people of our era. I always say that we are the new and improved wine tellers. Like,
Boom.
this is something, this is something new. This is something
Can I?
fresh. But I'm not telling you the wrong things. I'm going to give you those sipping straight facts. Like, we're going to talk
Yeah.
about it. We can dig a little deeper. We can, we can nerd out, but at the same time, we don't have to nerd out. We can have a regular conversation. Yeah, that's berries. That's whatever makes you feel comfortable, but I don't want you to feel like this is not for you. So I do it for my people. I do it for all people. I do it for the moms. I do it for the nurses. Anything of that. Like, but I like to just break it down so it's palatable. There's a lot of things that we try and it's strong because it didn't have oxygen. It's not decanted. Just like our conversations, I didn't sugarcoat it for you. I didn't take it and say, okay, well, this is this and this. When you're going to the doctor's office, I made it palatable for you. I said, your child has a fever, not that they have, a reaction from the virus that they had in their liver and their lungs that produce something else. I want to make sure that you know what I'm saying. Just like I'm breaking it down for my kids. Like, making things palatable for other people makes them want it more. So if I can break it down to a point where you can understand it and you don't have to look and be like, oh no, that's for those people. No, it's for us. It's for all people.
No, and that's where you help people, right? That's where you're able to do more. And I think that this is where we start talking about you're writing a new story because so many people get involved in this thing. Like you said, they're gold diggers, right? They're searching for clout. Oh, let me get this certification so I
Right.
can be in this room for this purpose, that purpose. Your reason for doing it is just so you can help others and
Right.
you can help yourself. So it's
Right.
personal, but also you're not being selfish in that. You're really looking to help others.
Help me help you. Help me help
You
you.
know what I mean? 1,000%. Look, it's noble because I mean, and that makes you a true hospitalitarian. Because in hospitality, what's our goal? Our goal is to sacrifice self for the sake of others, and that's what you're doing. You're taking your time to be able to help others be able to do more, something else that will help them enjoy things and enjoy life. Um,
Exactly.
let's.
I mean, I think that's in all aspects of life and everything like I do, like being a nurse, being a healthcare administrator, being a mom or anything like that, you're being selfless. Like, let me help you, but at the same time, like, you're helping others. Like, it's always good to help others and plant seeds into others that they didn't even know about. You don't know how you can change somebody's life. Like, you had no idea just speaking with me on Instagram would change a different part of my life. So you really got to pay attention. Like, you're doing stuff for people that you didn't even know.
Yeah, or mine, not at all.
Right.
And this is the beauty. No, well, this is the beauty of connection, and this is why we do what we do, right? All the things that we do with the village that we talked about, the Southern Psalm Collective, or the whole crew. This is what we're doing: is we're connecting people in a way that can enhance your lives, not just the enjoyment parts, just not just those nights out, but your lives. I mean, our families are friends now.
Yeah.
It started with wine. You
Yeah,
know what I
it
mean?
did.
We have connected how many other families,
So
over
many.
bottles of wine and, just having these really cool moments. Let's talk about this because our village is not the typical village that you would see in the wine world, right?
Hmm.
We've talked a lot about in the last couple of years, especially 2020 and 2021, really 2020. We talked about how, talking about access, that a lot of black people did not have access to these exams or have access to these rooms where people were going to be. And a lot of women certainly didn't. But our village, our people that we talked about, the Sarah Faye, the Tiffany, the Justin, the Eric, me and you. I mean, this is a whole group of people that is neither, that is not, there's no white men in this group, right?
Right.
It's all women, it's all black men, right? And we're family people. We're not
Yeah.
just the single young white male that can do his thing.
Right.
Let me ask you this: looking at our group, that's a thing, and we want to represent and do much more for our southern communities and others as it goes abroad to be an example. What do you think about the way things have gone the last couple of years? Do you think that there's been a shift in the diversity in the wine industry that you've seen?
So you guys have been in it longer. So I can just tell with what I've seen. I didn't see anybody that looked like me or sounded like me or anything like that when I first came in. I see a little bit more, but I definitely think there's more room for improvement. I feel like we have definitely broken a couple of ceilings and shattered a couple of glasses, but we still are making our way to the table. So
Mhm.
I'm still creating that chair,
She can't hear
being
you.
at tables that we
You
weren't
can hear her,
expected
but
to
you
be
don't
at. Because a lot of times, just
your
like in the
hand
South
to
as
your
well,
hand
like
to the
when I go
phone.
to a liquor store or anything of that nature, people are asking me, like, do you want some Moscato? Do you want some sweet wine? Do you want this? And I'm just
Yeah.
like, hold up. No, I want that 2017 Ridge in the bag. Go pull it up.
Boom.
Thanks.
Let's get to it. Let's get
Like,
to it. Right.
don't try to play me because you see what I look like you see what I sound like. But then when you're having a conversation with me, they're like, "Oh, this is a good wine. I know it is. I know it is, playa. I know." So it's just just trying to still show people that it's just not one type and kind of person that loves wine. It's us too. So incorporate us in that group. But it's going to take some more time. I do see a little bit of elevation. I see more things happening. I do like the scholarships that are offered to be able to help us to get into a situation where we are in those conversations, where we are in those places where we can make a difference. Because if I was behind a black screen and nobody saw me, would you take me for how I am, the way I speak? Like, if you heard me behind that, would you know what I was? Would you know who I am? And we talked about, if we had a great conversation about wine, you're like, okay, I come from behind the curtain. Would you be surprised? And that's what we have to realize. Like, you're still surprised that I look the way I look and I sound the way I sound, and I can sit here and preach the wine gospel to you. It shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't be surprised. Just understand that I'm here and
Mhm.
that we're all going to be here. And so we're rising to an occasion that we weren't expected at, but we are here. We out here.
1,000% we out here and we're gonna stay. We're gonna do a lot more things for the people. Look, if you're checking in, this is the Bearded Wino. I'm Chuck Nix. This is Monday Meditations with Wine. We got Meaghan Odum, aka Trill Wine Wife, and we're talking about wine education, why it's important. And we're talking about bringing enthusiasts and professionals to the same table to enhance connection, expand our wine culture here in the South, to make us a stronger market, consumer, and trade. Look, we just talked about diversity a little bit. We
Is the
know
baby eating
about
yet?
why you're doing this wine education
Charlotte
thing, and
has.
trust Megan, me and you, we can go
Charles?
on and on.
I'm
There's a lot of things that I
Right.
could have taken in this conversation, but for the sake of time and for the sake of
Charles, you ready to
other
eat?
people may not be able to just really draw into what we're talking about. We're going to keep it right here about wine academics. Let me ask you this: do you love what you're doing?
Yeah, I
Do
do. I really do love it. Yes, I
Good,
do.
good. I
Hmm?
can tell. All right.
Yes, sir.
So look,
You
our
say
friend
no?
Jennifer was on a podcast pretty recently, and the
Hmm.
question was asked, and the question was, "What's a wine pet peeve of yours? What is a wine pet peeve that you have?"
Yeah, we do.
Oh, it's a little hard. I think now that I've gotten a little more into it, like I have a couple of friends who'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I only drink
Yeah, I still
champagne.
didn't
I
take any
only
pictures
drink
with her.
champagne," but they're coming up with like Lamarca or Andre or
Mm,
Belvedere, and I'm just like,
At
nope,
least you mommy
that's
took
not
some.
champagne.
yeah,
It's
Not in the last
sparkling,
days.
and we can talk about
Yeah.
it. We can, but I think when it comes to that point where like people are like, "Oh, I'm really bougie. I like to do this," and I'm just like, that ain't it. Or when you go to a wine dinner and people are, they are smelling, they are looking, they are swirling, and you're just like, okay. And then, they're like spitting out all these facts and everything, and you're listening, you're like, oh,
it doesn't make
no,
sense.
it's none of those. Like,
Checking out.
what is you talking about? Like, what are you talking? And then they're asking you, and I'm just like, you don't want me to rip
Yeah,
open what
yeah.
I got here.
I want to correct you, but I also don't want to. I
Right.
want to.
I don't
I
want to
want
say,
you to
I
be
don't want
wrong.
you to think that, because I really don't think they think that I'm going to come out with it. So those are probably the two pet peeves that I have when other people talk about wine. And I don't say anything, but if you ask me, I'm going to go ahead and let it rip. I'm going to open the can. Open it up.
I think I will look. I was listening to it, and I was listening to their pet peeves, and I was like, ah, man, those are valid. Um, but the one that I think that I can't stand all the time, and I mean, sometimes you can get away with it, sometimes you can't help it. But man, I hate holding the glass by the bowl.
Oh,
Like when people hold the glass like a goblet, or they hold it by the bowl, and it really bothers me because every TV show you watch, every television show,
they're all holding it like this.
they all grab by the
They're
bowl.
all,
And like,
it's just like
I get
they're
it's kind of
teaching people to
cool.
do that.
It's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. It messes me up. Yes, but then again, that's just what our teachings, that's what our studies show you. You
Right.
hold glass like this, so you don't change the temperature, so the bowl doesn't get mucky, and all these other things. It's just I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no fingerprints. No fingerprints. That comes from back in the day too. Anyway, all right, look, let's talk about this. We got to know, everybody's got to know. This helps people know us and you a little bit better. So we're going to get you 5 questions. Let's talk about them real quick.
Oh my goodness.
If you could share a bottle of wine with anybody, dead or alive, who would that person be?
I know it sounds crazy, but I absolutely think it would be my grandmother.
Oh.
There was a lot of times where she was like, "Oh, you're just drinking, you're alcoholic." And now, if she could see where I've come, she would
Yeah.
be like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even know about that." And we could have a glass of wine together because she would always have her friends over. She played bridge. She has a cup. She told me it was
Yeah.
sweet tea, and it was not sweet tea. It was definitely
Yeah.
scotch or whiskey. And for us to be in a situation where I've learned and grown and evolved, she would be like, "Wow, okay." But unfortunately, she passed. But I would definitely do that. Definitely.
You know, we get a lot of grandmother questions, grandmother answers to that question. A lot of people say if they could drink with anybody, they drink with their grandmother. I want to
Really?
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few people say they want to drink their grandmother. I want to know. I can't imagine drinking with my grandmother. She's not the person that I'd be pulling out. But I just think about that. It's like, all right, man, I love y'all's grandparents if y'all could drink with them. All right, look, let's talk about it. What grape variety or what style of grape best describes you?
I think a red blend.
A red blend.
Versatile. I have a
Okay.
whole bunch of different grapes and nuances and flavors, and I mean, there's so many different things about me that makes me me. I'm different
Mhm.
from Monday than I am on Thursday, so
Mhm.
therefore we want to blend it up. So I would
All right.
definitely say a red blend would be the definition of me. I can't say I'm one straightforward varietal, so
All right. You
red
got
blend
a
it is.
particular blend. Which blend?
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Um.
Had to come from you.
I haven't had any recently. Mm,
Bordeaux, Rhone, Meritage. What you thinking?
let's go with Batty Bordeaux.
Okay.
B&B.
All right. Batty Bordeaux. All right. All right. All right. Right bank or left bank? Merlot base or
Right
Cab?
bake.
Right bank. Okay. All right. Keep it smooth. Keep it efficient. I like it a lot.
Keep
I
it
like it.
smooth. Stay on your palate. Long lasting, everlasting. You know,
Yeah.
you're gonna remember me. Okay.
All day long. All day long. All right. Look. What's your unicorn bottle? If you could drink this bottle of wine, you could die happy. What bottle is that?
I'm gonna say champagne. But there's a lot of champagnes I haven't tried. But I think the one thing that I could try and I would die happy was Krug. Isn't
Crew.
it? How you say
Okay.
Krug?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yep.
Oldest family. Oldest champagne house.
I
Crew.
definitely want to do that, and I would be okay. I'd be like, okay, all is well in the world. Let's go. I'm ready.
Done deal. Hey, Megan, I think we can make that happen, but I don't expect you to just die, but then you can die happy. I think we make it happen.
Okay. Don't get me
We
excited
can do
because
that.
I'll
All
drive
right.
down to Jackson. I'll be right
Yeah.
there at the house. Don't
Yeah,
play.
let's make it happen. All right, cool. All right, so for the everybody, right? Not for some, but it's for everybody. If you got $20, everybody's got $20, you got $20, you're going to the wine shop. What bottle of wine you bringing out?
Italian sparkling prosecco.
Okay. All right. All right. Easy to go.
Easy. It's fantastic. You'll love it. It's amazing.
I like it. I like it. Do you have a particular producer? Not the blue bottle.
No, I don't have a particular producer.
Okay.
Make it
All
make
right.
sense.
Now
But
that's
Forever to post on
definitely some good
Facebook.
ones,
Facebook
and it's
sucks.
on a budget. It's fantastic.
you can get some really good
No,
Valdo
because Facebook
Biatanen
wants you
for
to
like
do all
under
this
20
shit
bucks.
to reach the most audiences, so it has
Yes.
you always
The
post. I'm like,
Cartier
bro,
might
can you
spend
just
30,
post
but
my
it's all
shit,
good.
please?
Might spend
You
some
said 20, not 30.
money. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely didn't say 50. So, no, I
Nah.
didn't hear any Barolo.
No. No Amaronis. All right, look, let's dig it. If you are not doing this, if you are not in the wine industry, what would you be doing? I think we know the answer, but what would you be doing if you were not studying wine?
Definitely be in healthcare administration. I'd be running a hospital,
Yeah,
directing some stuff, but yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that and kids and nursing and stuff.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, you love to help people. You're a true hospitalitarian. You're a nurse. You're a mom. You are a wine academic. You're Trill Wine Wife. You are Women's
Hey.
History. It is Women's History Month. Megan, this has been a good talk. You couldn't
I
hear me
think so
for a lot of
too.
it, but it's a good talk.
I had a great time.
I had a good time with you too. Look, I know y'all got a lot going on with the family. I want y'all to jump into it. Tell Alan I said, hey, hug the
I
kids from
will.
y'all have a great day and a great time. And look, until we talk again, which is probably going to be soon, you and I.
Right.
Cheers. And then look, and for everybody else paying attention today, get online. I gotta say this because it's Women's History Month and we're making women's history in our country right now. Kentaji Brown
Yes.
is being confirmed right now into the Supreme Court. Is the first Black woman to be confirmed into the Supreme
Amazing.
Court. So big things are happening in Women's History Month. Cheers to you. Cheers to all women everywhere. Bingo bang. It's another Monday Meditations. Peace, y'all.
Cheers.
Yeah.